Let me start with a question. How many of us here in the audience are doing all of the right things? We are feeding our bodies, we're exercising, we're hydrating, we're looking after our families, and we're just being good people. And yet inside, we just know something's a bit off. Maybe we've got that wired but tired feeling. Maybe we've got scaling feelings of anxiety, even though really our life, we're coping quite well with it. Well, 10 years ago, this was me. I started having issues with my weight, scaling weight gain. I then developed a rash, hives, my skin broke down, started to blister. Everything I put in my mouth, even though it was healthy, would give me bloat, and I suddenly developed allergies. I was only into my 40s, and suddenly I was headlong into the menopause. Scaling anxiety symptoms that were just crippling, and before I knew it, I was at the doctor's on HRT and antidepressants. Now, I've been a nurse for 30 years, over 30 years, working in high-pressure environments. Precision mattered. Mistakes were not optional. And here I was, asking for help from the medical system. Having the medication, I knew, for me, I wasn't anti-medication, I was medicine. But even when I followed all of the rules, I knew something inside of me was just wrong. My body just felt like it was fighting. I had to take a totally different approach to my health. I was raising 2 small children, I was navigating single motherhood, I was building a business, all whilst trying to sort out my own health. What transpired for me was a journey much deeper than I ever thought was possible into my own DNA and my own genetic blueprint. I had to, because my search for science and what I was being told just wasn't working for me. What transpired from that conversation with some really clever people was that there is a blueprint behind all of us as humans, how our bodies work, how we convert everything we put into our bodies into vitamins, minerals, and how it actually works in our bodies and powers our systems, and how we get rid of and metabolize waste in our body, how we inflame to catch bugs and infection, and how our bodies actually run. An analogy that was described to me of if you were to buy a Lamborghini, you would know exactly what fuel to put in it, what oil to put in it, and if you didn't put the right fuel and oil in there, you would expect it to blow up. My health collapse was pretty catastrophic, taking the big role I'd taken on. But what changed inside me when I knew exactly what to eat, what supplements to take, changed everything. I wasn't broken. My body was just trying to give me signals to come back to myself, to listen to the symptoms that I was having. 41% of the population are having scaling anxiety, are on medication, and none of it is working. Working on myself and being able to sort out my own health has meant I've been able to walk a few high performers, human beings, through exactly the same process. And here's what I hear regularly. When you know what to put into your system and how to work with your genetic blueprint and change your environment to know what to eat, what to drink, what supplements to take, and the environment you surround yourself in really nurtures all of that, not only do your relationships with others change, but the relationship with yourself changes, because you bring your body back into safety. When you feel safe in yourself, you feel safe in your environment. The people I work with change everything to try and be and feel safe in themselves, when really all they have to do is change one thing. Change one thing and stick to it regularly until you feel safe doing it and your body feels safe, and then change the next thing. Just by working out what environment your body thrives in and understanding your instruction manual can change everything. I heard from one high performer who I work with that he said once he made the changes and he understood himself, he was no longer making decisions from a part of the brain where he'd been in all of his life. He'd been making decisions from a place of fear, dread, worry, and anxiety. He could now make decisions from the front part of his brain that came from love, compassion, and integrity. He said his relationships with everybody improved and his business has never been better. He said his mum told him she'd never seen him so calm in all of his life. And his parting shot to me was, I don't think my relationship with myself has ever been better. Not because he changed a million things, he changed 3 things that were going to change the biggest levers in his life. It was diet, it was taking out of his addictions, and it was working with himself to help himself feel safe. If I can leave you with one piece of advice, your DNA is not your destiny. But knowing and understanding the environments that you place yourself in, with food, with alcohol, with the company you spend and the people you surround yourself by, your biology, if you listen, will give you the messages. But listen hard, because if you don't, the messages get bigger. Thank you.